Welcome to Your Success Podcast. We give you actionable insight and stories behind real-life success wherever you go.
Welcome to Your Success Podcast. I'm Angelos, and today my special guest is Leanne Tilley. Welcome, Leanne.
Hi, good to be here.
Cool. So Leanne's an entrepreneur, and you started Kineta in 2016. Kineta is a
health and wellness business, actually, but essentially we specialise in importing matcha green tea, organic matcha green tea from Japan.
Pretty cool. Yeah. And you started in 2016, and now you're selling in 8 different countries?
Yeah, so it's just grown year on year. So we started just selling online, and today, as it stands, we sell in 8 different countries. We've got national listings in 4 different countries, and that's beyond Europe as well. So some of our key countries: Germany, Spain, Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and then beyond that, we actually also supply into South Africa and Kenya. Is probably
pretty
the
impressive.
furthest.
Yeah. But you've also set up and sold an online men's makeup business.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my vision has always been to manage my own time. Mm-hmm. I'm what I call proudly unemployable. And I think that online selling has given me, I love it, but it's given me a really good opportunity to manage my own time, systemize and generate passive income. So I've always been interested in online selling.
From a young age?
From a really young age, yeah. I mean, I was just a mean eBayer when I was a kid at school. Like anything I could get my hands on from my parents, I would get eBayed.
Yeah.
So men's makeup was an emerging trend. Men didn't want to walk into a department store, and they certainly didn't want to be seen picking up a foundation or a mascara or a guy liner at the time. I mean, this is some years ago now.
I love the guy liner. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It's a thing, I tell you.
Yeah.
So we set up a men's online business called Male Origin. So from origin to evolution. So talking about how actually now it's fine for men to want to look after their skin and look after themselves. We had some incredibly interesting characters. And we were selling a range of foundations, but we were also selling anti-aging creams, serums, night creams, sports creams for like after sports, so muscle rubs and things like that. So it wasn't just about makeup, but ran that for 3 years, and then sold out. But that gave me a really good foundation in terms of understanding the management of business, because it's not as easy as just having a product and selling it. There's a lot more complexity to it than that, and I think I went in quite naively. And then also the mechanics of digital and how it works. And it's changing daily, don't get me wrong, but it did give me a really good foundation for Kineta, which is where I am now.
No pun intended. Cool. So let's talk about Kineta then.
Okay.
How did you go from tea fields to Selfridges? Fridges, shelves.
Shelves, yeah.
Definitely shelves, not fridges.
Both, actually. But
why not do both? Yeah. So how did that come about?
So I've always had an interest in health and wellness. I believe nutrition is the way to living optimally, and really, I think nutrition is medicine. And so I was traveling around Japan, and I was fortunate enough to be going through tea fields. So I'd qualified as a tea sommelier. I wanted to see tea growing in a field. I packed up my bags. I have to be honest, I was terrified. I went on my own. I don't speak the language. And I cried all the way to the airport because I was really nervous. And I got on the plane and I arrived over there, and I don't know what I was worried about. It was amazing. The people were fantastic. And so I found myself in tea fields. The views were incredible. They were inspiring in themselves, but what was more inspiring, for me anyway, was the life, the energy, the vibrance of people around me. And I'm not unfit, and I was being overtaken going up hills by 80-year-old men and women who were telling jokes as they were going. I mean, they weren't out of breath, and they just kind of had this energy, and I just wanted to bottle it. I couldn't work out how I was going to bottle it, but I did. I just wanted to bottle it. And while I was there, I was really fortunate. I was taken to I was taken on a journey up through the mountains, so just outside of Uji region, and the gentleman that I was with said, "You've seen these tea fields, and they produce tea for the emperor." And he said, "You have to come and meet this man. He's trained 7 years of his life when he was young. He's now in his 80s." And he said, you have to come and meet him because he has dedicated his life to perfection of chasen whisks, bamboo whisks. And so he handcrafts these bamboo whisks. They're art. They are just absolute art. But anyway, so we were sat round a table, and it's very traditional that you come in and they make you tea, and you have these small cups of tea, and you socialise over tea. And they actually whisked me up a matcha using one of his chasen whisks. And
so what's a matcha?
So matcha, for those that don't know, is a shade-grown ground green tea. So historically, the ancient way of brewing tea is actually to drink it in powdered form. So it's kind of been a long forgotten brewing technique because obviously loose leaf tea came about, easier, more functional. Tea bags came about, super easy, don't have to worry about anything. But actually the Japanese have never forgotten the art of consuming powdered tea and how to do that. Now, the slight difference, and I'll probably get into it a little bit more later, but it's shade grown, so it boosts all the nutrients within the tea. Mm. So it's a super powerful, nutritionally dense drink, essentially. So I didn't know any of that. I mean, I'm just sat around a table in awe of this guy that's dedicated his life to crafting bamboo whisks. And so he whisks up this matcha. He gives me this frothy green stuff. Now, I'm all cool with green stuff, but it was really super green. And actually, it was delicious. It was sweeter than I was expecting it to be, and came with this really cute little biscuit on the side. And but it's how I felt in the afternoon. I just felt amazing. It made me feel really good. So I bought some more matcha while I was over there. I was consuming it every day, and it just made me feel great. I just felt really, really good. I wanted everyone to feel like that. And that's kind of where I want to bottle what they've got. And then this product is making me feel amazing. How do I put those two together? And that's kind of where Kanata was really
cool. So you were like a Bill Murray in Lost in Translation in Japan.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the hell was going on. Didn't speak the language. And now you're drinking tea with a cute little biscuit with your little Japanese friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did the cogs start turning, thinking, I can make a business out of this?
Pretty much the second I stepped foot back on British soil. I was on the plane back, and it gave me the opportunity to really look at what I'd learnt and what I'd seen, and what had inspired me while I was over there, and then what I could bring back to my life in the UK, and that's really where it started. It's like, actually, I want to carry on drinking green tea. I want to carry on drinking matcha. Why? Because it makes me feel great. I want my friends to feel great, so I'm going to start giving it to them as well. And it went from there, and also it worked well because I like online selling. I like that direct to consumer relationship that you can have, and you can really kind of build that. And so tea is an easy to put in the post product. So it kind of just everything, it was like, those moments stars align and you just get that penny drop and it's like, it's obvious. It's obviously. So obvious.
Yeah, Jesus. Cool. So you do a lot of online selling.
Yeah.
How's that working for you? I mean, presumably it's quite easy compared to selling on shelves and things like this. I mean, what would you say the main differences are? There must be pros and cons to both, right?
There are. Obviously, if you've got shelf presence, you've got brand presence, you then have access to more consumers easier, depending what shelf you're on. But actually, the thing I really like, and we do both now, but the thing I really like when I set up was that our consumers were hardcore people that really love matcha already. They understood the concept of matcha and what matcha is. And so they were coming direct to us because we have an incredibly good quality of matcha. We source direct from the farm. So I've seen it growing, I've seen it produced. And so for the more aficionados, that works really well. And so online selling, I can just have those conversations with people that also love the things I love. And that's really nice. But it comes with challenges because there are some huge businesses out there now, Amazon being one of them, where it's a one-click purchase and it's so easy. And so online selling isn't what it used to be. And it's actually expensive and not as easy as people think. You don't just put a product up online and it just sells and you just sit there and watch it come in. It's really hard work.
Okay. So at some point you must have thought to yourself, right, okay, selling all right in the UK, let's take over the world. How do you go from there to there?
It was strange. It was a natural progression, actually. So there were a few things that happened before we went, right, let's take over the world. So when I started, it's not that we want to take over the world. Essentially, I just want to turn one person green at a time. That's like the core. We don't say that to consumers or anything, but that's our driver, because the product does make people feel better. And actually, how amazing if we can just help one person at a time just feel better. So we were selling the powder in small tins that last 4 to 6 weeks. And we were getting a lot of feedback of, love your product. Actually, do you know what? I'm super busy. By the time I've got the kids up, I've got out, I've got to get to work. I haven't got time to whisk up matcha. Is there any way that I can just have it in a ready to drink format? And so at the time I was doing some consultancy with a drinks brand. And it was just, actually, do you know what? My powder tastes amazing in your drinks. My customers are asking for a ready-to-drink format. Mm-hmm. There's something here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. And so we developed a range of 3 organic vegan juice drinks that gave you your daily dose of matcha, but in a juice drink that you could just put in your handbag and take.
So is that what one of these bad boys are?
Yes.
So for those of you watching at home, I'm holding a beautiful green bottle. Apple.
Yeah, so we've got apple, lemon and ginger. So you've got apple and lemon here to try later.
Ingredients all natural, obviously.
Of course.
I like it. Yeah, I'll be giving this a try in a minute.
Yeah, do. And so, and then it went from there, and we were looking at, because it's a powder product, it's super flexible, and I use it for training quite a lot. So I'll have a shot half an hour before I start training. It's been shown to help boost your performance while you're training. And then I was looking at, how do we put this into a bar so that when I finish training, I've got all of the nutrients to replenish my body, re-energize my body so that I can go back out there and hit my meetings head on, or whatever it is that I've got planned. And so at the beginning of last year, we launched a range of raw vegan energy bars. So we've got chocolate orange and triple berry. So those were our kind of retail products. So we had those developed. And I was then approached actually by a distributor in the Czech Republic who'd got hold of our drinks. I can't remember how now, but he has a really well-established drinks distribution company. He was looking for non-alcoholic drinks, with that trend coming through quite strong now with that low, no alcohol drink. And his customers were asking for a matcha drink. He tried ours, he tried some of our competitors, and he said, yours is the best, hands down. And that kind of sparked an idea. It's because when we're working with distributors, they'll order a minimum order quantity of a couple of pallets. So it gave us the opportunity to drive volume because we were getting those pallet orders straight off the bat. And I was doing some consultancy at the time, and I was meeting distributors from other countries. So started presenting the range, is how it started. And I have to be honest as well, the Department of International Trade, the DIT, were really supportive. So had we won an award for export at that point? No, so just before then we were awarded a grant to travel to increase our export partners. So to go and interview distributors in each of the different countries. So we chose Germany, Spain, Czech Republic to actually go and meet the team that were distributing our drinks, because we did everything over the phone. So I had the opportunity to go and meet them. And then the Netherlands. And so we interviewed distributors in 3 of them, because obviously Czech Republic was already set up, and then successfully proceeded with distributors in each of those countries.
That's pretty awesome.
It's been full on. It's exciting.
And your plans? You've taken over quite a few countries there. Is there a plan to make it a completely global brand?
No. Does that sound bad? No, because actually Matcha is quite a niche product. So it doesn't work in every country, actually, for various different reasons. And so we've actually, we have a strategy where we understand where Matcha does work and where it doesn't work. And we've overlaid that onto where we are distributing and where we're not distributing. So that's highlighted another 3 countries where we're not distributing at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we're actively targeting those at the moment. And in terms of export, that's where we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Certainly in the next 3 to 5 years anyway. And no, the UK is our target now.
Okay.
It's to really own our home country.
You couldn't tie up with Marvel, go green, become like the Hulk, big and strong. That would take your branding to another level.
That would take our branding to a whole other level.
If Marvel are listening, and I'm sure they are, then please get in contact with Leanne, because there's some cool tie-ups you can do here. Brilliant. So you don't just do Kineta, you also own property. Mm-hmm. So how's that working for you, and what are your plans with that?
It's working really well. I actually really enjoy it. I bought my first rental property 6 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at ways to kind of diversify my portfolio. So I had some investments in a peer-to-peer lending platform. I was obviously just starting Kineta at the time, and I was looking at property as well as kind of an investment avenue. I hadn't done it before. I knew nothing about it. I look back and think, I'm not sure how I managed it. But I bought in Plymouth, on Welsford Avenue, actually, in Plymouth. I bought my first rental property. And it was a 3-bed family home. And a good friend of mine runs an estate agent locally. So I was actually picking as many brains as I could. And after I decided that I wanted to go into property, and so I had a lot of advice and support before I bought my first rental house, and I haven't looked back since. Actually, don't get me wrong. There's been some challenges, and there's been property is never straightforward. It just never is, and I've learned a lot on the way. But I really enjoy it, and actually, the real driver is to give people a good quality living space and therefore a good quality of life. And if I can help with that, then great. If that doesn't sound too cheesy, but that is the core driver. Yeah.
So looking forward then the next 5 years for you, what's the plan with Kineta, with property? Are there other ventures that you're looking at?
With regards to Kineta, it's keep turning one person green at a time, and really kind of growing our home market. We've got a really good range now. It's just about driving distribution. So the next 3 to 5 years is about that, and our strategy is firmly in place. But it really is about benefiting people, helping people. And then with property, actually, we've got some really exciting plans to expand the portfolio so that it's a larger rental portfolio, which is something a bit newer. But the drive really has always been to own my own time. So, but helping people whilst doing that is kind of the two key things. So I think property really sits alongside that.
And like you said, it's good to have a diverse investment portfolio, because you just don't know what's going to come around the corner, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, Leanne, what does success mean to you?
Owning my own time. Having people say to me, oh my God, I tried that tip that you said and I feel better for it and I'm going to keep doing it. And actually I told my friends. Part positively impacting people's health, really, helping people. So owning my own time, success, and helping people. That really is the way I would see success, without a doubt.
That's awesome. So how do people find your product? How do they find you online if they want to get in contact with you? Perhaps they've been inspired by you. What's the best way, first of all, to get some Canetta in their lives, turn green?
Please do. Everyone needs Canetta in their lives.
And how do they get in contact with you if they wanted to reach out?
Yeah, of course. So with Canetta, we've got our website. So if you go to ilovematchatea.co.uk.
And how do you spell matcha?
Matcha. So ilovematchatea.co.uk. And we also have an Instagram presence for Matcha, which is at Canetta_tea. And if people want to get in contact with me specifically, I have an Instagram account, which is at twisted_tea_leaves. Twisted tea leaves, basically, if you type that into Instagram.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Cool, Leanne. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's really inspiring, actually, hearing from yourself and how you just went from being this little nomad in Japan to building this global little empire. So, well done to you.
Thank you.
Well done.
It's been great to talk about it.
Cool. So you've heard what Leanne has done in a very short space of time and done incredibly well. Please get in contact if you'd like to hear some more about Canetta. I'm sure we'll put some links in the podcast to the websites and things like that. Perhaps you've been drinking green tea. That's your thing with Matcha. Get in contact. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. Reach out at hello@yoursuccesspodcast.com or contact Leanne directly. Go on, Leanne.
One other thing, just if anyone's got any questions on how to incorporate Matcha into their lifestyle for better training or for weight loss or for any health tips, or they've just got any questions for recipes, then I just love to chat.
Okay,
Matcha.
Absolutely. And I see that you do loads of, is it ice dives? Yeah, ice swims.
Yeah, ice swimming.
Yeah.
Cold therapy.
That is awesome. Hardcore. I hate the cold.
/ crazy. Yeah. You can say it. It's fine. I know.
Cool. Brilliant. Thanks again, Leanne, for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate having a chat with you. Maybe in a few years we can have another discussion about the future of Canetta.
Great. Thank you.
Cool. So I've been Angelos, and see you again on the next exciting episode of Your Success Podcast.
You have been listening to Your Success Podcast. Click subscribe for more incredible content. More details can be found at www.yoursuccesspodcast.com.